Hey fellas, how you doing? It's Johnny. Listen, I just wanted to make a video. I wasn't planning to make a video because I've uploaded a ton of videos this week on YouTube. I've enjoyed it so much, it's been great filming the videos. I'm just in the middle of working on a big project. This project's been ongoing. It's called Project Social Anxiety. Probably one of the most enjoyable projects I've ever worked on. It's also been very challenging because I'm going through the emotions as I'm writing about it. And the project's ongoing because I'm teaching it. I'm teaching this on the 6 weeks program. I'm writing about it. I've been working on my own social anxiety for the past 10 years now. I've gone into many different realms of personal development or realities, starting from the very obvious ones like social confidence, talking to women, picking them up on the street, going on dates, sleeping with women, public speaking, all the areas that, all the areas that would frighten anyone, make anyone nervous, regardless of your social anxiety or not. Interestingly enough, most of you know, well, you would know me from the sort of YouTube videos, doing the pickup videos. That's not where I'm at no more. It's just not me anymore, in the sense of the identity going out picking up women. But I did enjoy it when I did it. It was definitely me back then. Obviously in life we grow, well, we should grow anyway. If you're not growing, not maturing, then I don't know, I don't even know if that's a bad thing. It's people's choice at the end of the day. But what I've learned from this project is, it's interesting, it's just come down to one thing. I think oh god, sorry, I struggle sometimes on the video blogs. I get in my head, it's part of my social anxiety. I think the major thing I've realised is that men who struggle with women are not socially relaxed, and that is the exact sticking point I had. This is interesting because I suppose this is on par with pickup artistry, pickup lines, because it's interesting because the reason people will often use pickup lines, they'll go towards the methods, is because the very fact that they're not socially comfortable in themselves. They have got social anxiety. There's anxieties around socialising with people. And I've said it before, whether your anxiety is around socialising with the same sex with men, building friendships, whether it's around you getting comfortable around your family, whether it's you being comfortable in public, or whether it's you just getting comfortable with women, that is still an anxiety, and that is still a social anxiety. But I think it's just when you say social anxiety in its raw form, people think, oh, you know what I mean, someone who's socially incapable, socially inept, a bit stupid, nervous. But that's actually not actually true, because lots of people would never have known that I had social anxiety. They would never have known, never, because I hid it really well. But I think for me, interestingly enough, I don't know if I'm confusing you, but I think there's many types of people that are at different stages in their own social confidence. Now for me, interestingly enough, I think I was always good with women, and I don't say that in a way to be big-headed. I was always natural, and I'll tell you why. Aunties growing up in the family, mum, cousins, dad, there was a lot of humour, a lot of joking, a lot of banter between each other. Maybe part of the Irish in me. I don't purely think it's that, but I think because of that banter, that looseness. And I know that sounds like a contradiction, because I've mentioned about, you know, the difficult sort of relationship I had with my dad growing up, but there were many good times. So obviously in any lifespan or any relationship, there's going to be ups and downs. Fortunate enough for me, growing up in school, I was around a lot of interesting characters. A lot of the bullies that bullied me, and I bullied myself. I always have to mention that. I forget sometimes. I've changed a lot since back then. Even though I didn't like what they did, I have to be honest, some of them were very charismatic. They were very insecure, obviously. They were in the wrong place. But like all human beings, they had good qualities. And I think just being around people, for me, enabled me to pick things up. But it's just one of the things. So My story is really weird. It's really strange because every time I write and I teach, I can learn more about my struggles and the things that improve me. But anyway, what I've learned is to put it down into one word. My sticking point was social anxiety. It wasn't with women. It was more being relaxed in my body around people, men or women. And this is my opinion, I could be wrong, but I'm willing to be wrong. I think I'm right. In the pickup community, all the guys were very, very socially anxious. I noticed it. I noticed it when I first started going to, the sort of community talks 3 years ago, and when I got invited down to talk. I don't mean that in an arrogant way, because I wasn't very relaxed myself. I just think I was probably a little bit more relaxed than the guys. And obviously, I was teaching 3 years ago, and I wasn't fully comfortable with myself. But I was at a certain level. I was trying, and that's the main thing. That's all you can ask for. And this is what I'm really getting with this project I'm writing about. Is that, it's basically about not to judge people. Very difficult because we all do it. I do it myself. I really reduce it, especially being a teacher. And what I've learned as I'm going on in this project is it's the very thing of judgment that gives people anxiety. We all want to get on better with one another, but at the same time we're judging each other. And we're usually judging each other because we're protecting our own insecurities, and we're taking the blame off ourselves, we're pointing it out. So the whole thing, as I've said before, is that there's so much frustration in the dating industry. There's so many people that get so defensive when you disagree with a method, but I don't care if people disagree with what I teach. It's not my business. It makes no difference, because I know that it's true for me, and I know I've helped hundreds of men, thousands of men around the world, and I got results from it. I got proof in my life, and that's really all you can ask for. It doesn't really make a difference about. People can say that whatever they want. They're always going to say it. You're going to have critics, and people are going to disagree. But at the end of the day, my philosophy worked. It got me into bed with very attractive women. That was the goal when I started. That is not the goal no more. And as I went through further into my teaching, and I've grown more, and I've learned from other mentors, and I'm just really embedded in this area of social anxiety, human psychology, confidence. I've lost track now, sorry. The essence of my learning was honesty. That honesty is the kind of, it's what builds you up. It's what builds your self-esteem and love. And using pickup lines and tricks and methods, that is basically, it's dishonest, because it's dishonest to you. Basically what you're saying is, God. You're basically saying, what you're saying is, I don't have the confidence and the courage to be myself, so I'm going to lie. I'm going to pretend to be someone else, and I'm going to become a master at hiding my anxieties. Now, I can understand why people do that, and from having done that myself for a short time, it didn't work for me. It made the anxiety worse, because the interesting thing about social anxiety is the anxiety comes from worrying about what people think about you. But the real anxiety, if you go further, I'm going deeper and a bit spiritual, very spiritual, if that annoys people, tough luck. The real anxiety is that you're not comfortable with you. You're not comfortable with you. You don't like yourself. So there's a massive element of self-hate. So it's, and I was shocked and surprised to learn about my own psychology, because it's very difficult to admit and to say to yourself. It takes a lot of courage to say, yeah, I hate myself, I don't like myself. It's such a foul, vicious word, and I wouldn't have believed that, but that was the truth. That was the truth. I don't feel that way anymore. I love myself, I really like being me, I'm really comfortable, and I'm really proud of what I've achieved. But back then, going back 3-4 years ago, even 7 years ago, was not in the slightest happy with who I was. And that's why I struggled in relationships, of meeting people and trusting people and so forth. So yeah, it just kind of made me feel very proud of what I did. It was very brave, and it was the right thing to do. It was a God-given gift to go out and to overcome my own anxieties, and in the process to share, my experience of other people, and actually to be teaching whilst going through it myself. I used to think to myself before, and I look back, because voices and stuff like that, I'm a hypocrite because I was teaching men how to be more confident with women, and I had social anxiety myself. But I thought, no, that's completely opposite. That makes you a good teacher, because you're in the current process of working on your own fears whilst helping other people. You can't even really get better than that for a teacher. You're not rusty, you're in the process of doing it. So it's kind of like, you get a lot of coaches, I don't know if this makes sense, but I say it anyway, I'm half Irish, who they're trainers, maybe they're boxing trainers, but they've never had a boxing match, and they're training a fighter to go into a box match, but they've never been in the ring. So I was in the ring all the time. I'm in the arena. I'm in the internal arena, which is anxiety and fear, and I learned how to manage my fear in the arena, and that's exactly what I learned in the boxing gym. And I'm still inquiring, like a psychologist, a philosopher, a spiritualist, what is the solution? And so far what I've realized, and I'm still going on this journey, is that you cannot fully get rid of social anxiety because everyone has it. But the exciting thing is, and this is hope for everyone, you can massively reduce it. Like, for example, now me doing this video blog, this would have been impossible 4 or 5 years ago. You couldn't have paid me to come on the YouTube, put myself out in public. I didn't have the self-esteem, I didn't have the confidence, I did not have the mental strength or the character. Now, as you can probably tell, I love it. I'm struggling today because I'm tired, I've been working all day, but I enjoy the struggle, I enjoy it. I think that's the same for me going out on the street with women. It wasn't easy for me. It wasn't easy. That's why I got cameras and put it up all over the internet, because I wanted to put myself in a position to be judged by people, because it was the very fear of being judged that kept me trapped for many years, and I couldn't express myself. And I thought, I need to do this. I didn't have to contemplate it. I didn't have to go inside a room with a team and get a strategy. It was just pure passion and love. So I was able to cultivate love whilst being in a place of hate, if I'm honest, self-hate. I did hate other people as well. It's quite difficult to admit that. Parts of me did, because of the damage and the trauma from a kid growing up and the bullying, but I was able to tap into the authentic side of me that loved people, and that was a side that did the YouTube videos, that taught the boot camps and helped people. And I was looking back thinking, because of course, we're only human. You sometimes think, did I do the right thing? But it was the right thing. It was the route. This is the route. This is the route that God directed me into. Now it's turned out beautiful. Now I've got I would say a more improved truth, and that is that we don't have to use manipulation and lies. I don't use it. I don't use it in my business. I don't use it in my relationships. I don't use it in human interaction no more. That was my truth. That if you cheat on people and you use tricks, you will harm yourself. And of course, like all lies, you may get away with it for a short time, but it will get you. And that's why I made mistakes myself, but I come clean on the channel about it. I continue to live like that. Living like that gives me a lot of freedom, because it gives me freedom to make mistakes, and it also gives me the confidence, the integrity, and the self-esteem to admit when I make mistakes. But the social anxiety you can really get to manage with it. You can really get to a level where you feel, how I feel, really relaxed around people. I think the confidence comes from even being confident. If you fall into anxiety and you feel nervous, you're able to manage it, talk about it, be honest about it, breathe, change your state. So I've developed some priceless skills. That's why I can go online and I can be criticised, and people can throw all sorts of negativity at me and hate, because they're not throwing anything at me that I haven't seen before. I'm not experiencing anything bodily that I haven't experienced. I've been in places of hate and violence, and I was a violent person myself. I was hateful and violent, judgmental, two-faced, angry, all of those not so nice characteristics. But I'm also, in the new place, loving, forgiving, still got boundaries. I don't take bullshit from people, but at the same time I love people, see the good in people, and very excited about inspiring and doing more. So I would say at the moment, if you're struggling with women, maybe you want to think about getting more socially relaxed. There's kind of two birds in one stone, because the way I see it is, being a good pickup artist is very different to being socially confident. And I always knew that. I didn't know it unconsciously, I knew it consciously. Because when I was going out doing a lot of the day game and seeing people do it, I had a massive respect for the guys and myself, because at the end of the day, they're still going out, and it takes courage. It also takes courage to be dishonest. I don't agree with it, I've done it, it didn't work for me, I didn't want to be in that place anymore. But I still got to give people credit for going out and for trying. But at the end of the day, if you get someone who's socially confident, you know, they're gonna put someone away in the first round, so to speak, who's not socially congruent. And people who are congruent can tell. That's why I really had to think about evolving and changing my mindset and my attitude towards women, because as I started to ascend up high and improve more, meet more attractive women or more women with high self-esteem, I don't mean that in an arrogant way, because everyone is equal, but women that have chosen to, they're just more confident, whatever reason that is. I had to up my game in the sense of not lines and tricks, actually take that stuff away. But I never really, to be honest, I never used it that much. I never really, if you see my old videos, you just can see a guy that's still struggling but trying, but, you know, speaking his mind but a bit nervous, but doing it and getting the results anyway. Really making it happen. So at the end of the day, it's for people who have social anxiety, there's two options you got. And I know, and I don't mean this, you know what I mean? You can sit in your house and be scared and be nervous, or you can be scared, go out and still talk to people, and then start chipping away. It does go away, it gets so much easier. You know, same way I'm talking on this video now. Maybe for you, for doing a video blog would be a big deal. Try it, do a video, put a video up on YouTube, or just do a video, I don't know, just shoot a video blog and show it to a friend. That expression, facing it, it liberates you. And as for criticism, it's been great for me, it's been fantastic, because social anxiety is the fear of being criticised by people. What did I do? I placed myself in the most harshest place you can put yourself, online, on the internet, YouTube. YouTube is a harsh environment, it's not user friendly, but I love it. It's grown me, it's grown my finances, it's grown my relationships, it's helped me personally to help thousands of people around the world. Sometimes I forget, I'm oblivious to it. I forget how powerful the work is that I do, because it's an honest message, it's truthful, it hits the hearts of people, it resonates with people from different backgrounds, different faiths, different walks of life, men and women. It transcends beyond culture, class. You can't beat that, that's priceless. And when small-minded people say, oh, he's just doing it for the money, they really need to take their head out their arse and think about that, because that's a ridiculous statement to make. Because of course I've got to get paid for what I do, rightly so. You know, I've been working for, I think, 15 hours today. I don't get paid for every hour. I do it because I love it, and the money comes. Everyone else can do it, but most people haven't got the balls to put their money where their mouth is and place themselves in areas where they'll get criticised. That's why successful people are successful, and unsuccessful people choose to stay in their comfort zone. Success is a choice. You don't go into the shop and ask for free stuff. You have to pay. You have to exchange value, time for money, expertise. But in saying that, I put out loads of free stuff. This video is free now. I could charge for this, I could monetize it, but I choose to put a certain amount because I enjoy doing it, and I enjoy serving the people that appreciate it. For the people that don't like it, great, they get, I don't know what to say. I'm going to do it anyway. So getting socially relaxed is this. It's what I do, what I teach people is priceless, life-changing. It transcends just in your dating life. Being relaxed is, now I'm here now. When the camera goes off now, I've got to spend 24 hours with myself, and then with a person, with clients. This is this is life. So for me, it's love, it's giving people confidence in life to do the things they want to do. It was all worth it, and I'm looking forward to doing more. And what I learnt is that it's really not a big deal. It's like I used to be so scared in case people could see I was nervous or made a mistake. It's like I said it before, everyone is afraid. Everyone's got some fear or phobia or something they're trying to hide. And I find that the less we hide, the more attractive we become. The fear just seems to evaporate. But it is a strong illusion. It's one that you have to constantly keep reinforcing that doesn't really exist. And yeah, it's been great, man. It's just been been fantastic, and I just hear as some support for people who've got social anxiety. I'm passionate about it. I'm more passionate, really, I'm sure, with the social anxiety than actual dating and meeting women. I'm not the guy for that, because as I said, I was always quite natural with women, and meeting Floyd was a reminder of what I had in myself, and he was very socially relaxed and confident, as I've said before in the videos. I never get bored of talking about it, because it means quite a lot to me as a friend, and we had great times, and I go back in time, I'm learning more, bringing the lessons into the present, and then teaching them and learning from my own experience, going out, doing it myself, and going, oh yeah, that, like what Floyd experienced, I went out and I experienced it for myself. What I teach my students, what they experience back and forward. Oh, I fucking love it, man. I seriously love it. That's why I do it. This video is a reminder of why I do it and why I keep doing it, and why I'm with, why I can withstand criticism and all the rest of it. It never stopped me. I'm half Irish. You have to nail me to the canvas and kill me, I won't stop. The message is about love. So the main solution was social anxiety can be managed, it can be honed, controlled. You can connect with people in a much deeper aspect because you've got it. It makes you more honest and open, more empathetic, it makes you more socially aware because you're so cautious about what people think about you. It actually makes you better. So the very thing that inhibited me made me strong and good and confident and very natural. And what's the word? Oh, I've dried up. What's the word? To the layman, you look phenomenal, You look phenomenal in terms of confidence because you've worked on yourself for so many years. So someone who doesn't have social anxiety and is always sociable, they might be at an average level of confidence, maybe 6 out of 10. Someone like myself who's had it severely, who's really worked on it, you go up to an 8 out of 10. So you're at a superhuman level of communication. Your consciousness is completely in a different place. And then you have the spiritual aspect, which I'm doing now. I'm drip feeding you guys it, because that takes you to another level of consciousness. That's a whole different reality, and that will be explained more because the journey continues. I'm back at the start again with all this new knowledge. All right, love and appreciation. Enjoy the process.